All right. Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. Um, so I don't think I actually showed this on the last one, but look at this crazy texture that's tuft. Like this is the city texture pack for those that are curious. I got it off the marketplace. See, PlayStation 4 back in the day, but anyways, and that's why all my tools look a little funky too. So and yeah. So anyways, happy Monday. Let's see. Sorry, I had a whole list of things lined up to talk about, but I love this. The snow, the rain. Anyways, now I had a very productive weekend. Was able to get a Mongo database set up, um, set administrators, set their passwords, completely not name them admin anything. So that's pretty cool. Like you get to pick and choose, and like so you can kind of like hide, make it ambiguous, like which users are what. So and really, I mean, it's a virtual machine that's disconnected from the network. Like, so I do control, like, I only connect it when I need to, like, grab something from the internet, and then I disconnect it whenever I'm doing development. Because you're always being scanned, unfortunately. Like, we're trying to stamp it out. I mean, there are robots that just continually scan, but yeah, it's hard because a lot of them come from other countries and we're all connected on the same internet. So, but for the most part, people are pretty much like in agreement. Yeah, see, and there's even like bricks. This is Tuft. It's insane. So, yeah, did a little bit off camera, some trees and stuff. But no, so like, and not to say like I did anything spectacularly hard or anything. Like I'm just reading out of a book that I got on the Node.js stack or the mean stack. It's like Mongo, Express, Angular, Node, I think is like the acronym for, as composed or as opposed to the LAMP stack or the WAMP or the XAMPP. So it's either Windows, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, which is what I learned in school. Um, what am I even looking for? There we go. We're gonna do some tools, cut down some trees. Actually, wait. You know what we should do? And I think I found the. Yeah. Let's do that. So I'm actually gonna deposit a lot of stuff, wool, all that. Um, but no, I found a bunch of diorite. So some ominous music. Oh, so I was thinking about building the new temple out here in the middle. And all this talk about religion and politics, it has sparked like just some kind of like consideration for, the what ifs, like because I do have a lot of religious friends and some family that, go to church regularly. I don't myself, but like, and I've always like tolerated, all that stuff. I've been a little critical of Christianity, I think just like because I feel like if it is such a great answer, then it should have been fixing a lot of problems. Instead, it's like, this and that. And I don't know. But at the same time, like, uh, I feel like we should just take all the good stuff out of the Bible, call it something different, plaster it in a bunch of like memes, and then just leave it at that. Like, disconnect and still, because I don't know, like, it's a lot like AA. And I know I started talking about this the other time, but like the concept of AA or Alcoholics Anonymous, like, if you think that you can't stop your drinking, that it's just out of your power, you give up control to a higher power. And so, okay, that's fine and good. Like, so it's out of your hands. You need help. You're asking someone else. And usually it's like God, and then it turns all Christian. And like, it's a very slippery slope to get into that. And that's what a lot of people turn away from it from because they might, not be all that religious. And then they start hearing like the word God, and it's just like, oh, I don't know if I really want to be part of this program. Like, yeah, I don't want to drink anymore, but, at what price? And it's also kind of ironic because, most traditional Christian churches have you drink wine every Sunday, just a thimbleful, but you just get a taste, a taste of a substance that will dull your brain, possibly cause you to do things that you might regret, stuff like that. I mean, like, granted, like, I'm not saying alcohol is evil and you can't drink, like, everything in moderation. Well, it's easier said than done if everything's going right in your life. I mean, that's why, like, a lot of bad stuff can happen, even from, like, the best or the most skilled of drinkers. They might have a bad time and get into some serious trouble. So, I don't know. There's no right answers for everything or one size fits all. Sorry, I got really distracted with that. Actually, I don't even know how I'm going to start building this. I think I want to get like a bunch of the stairs. But either way, the point of all that is regardless of, yeah, because I got to go back to the storage. Regardless of who's at the top, they deserve the utmost appreciation. And I do. I mean that. Like, I appreciate whoever, whatever created me. I mean, overall, I'm having a great time. Has it all been easy? No. But I mean, at the same time, I feel like a lot of that is like, if it was all just easy and sunshine, it's like The Matrix. I mean, which does go back to, I'm sure, some biblical stuff, but just like South Park and their mix up of like Jesus and it was actually Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. But I mean, it's easily confused with the Bible because that is at essence what, and the Quran and the Judaism holy texts. Like, I feel like there's a bunch. There's like the Torah. There's the, I mean, because I dated a half Jewish girl back in the day. Like, she celebrated both Christian holidays and Jewish holidays, and so I got to learn a little bit. I mean, wasn't great at it, but at the same time. But anyways, sorry, I'm going way off track there. But I just know that there's not just one book. It's not just like the Bible. And then like, and I've even been corrected by people like when I say like all the Ten Commandments. I think that's even like Old Testament, I want to say, and the Old Testament might be shared between Judaism and Christianity. I don't know. Like, see, that's why I'm not going to speak with too much authority on that stuff. But my personal disdain and growing up Protestant too. So I mean, we were already like protesting a bit about. I don't know about all that. That doesn't sound all right. Like, I mean, some of it, most of it, yeah, but some of that, let's not. And then Arianism, Arian. So, because my name actually spells Aryan. If you do the first initial and last name, I don't think that's like funny, like haha, like that's okay. But it's just like I've had some interesting situations because of that, where it's just like, oof, maybe that shouldn't be, you know. Let's see how we refer to you to as. Anyways, no, but the other Arianism, like the non-racist one, is more that Jesus wasn't God. Sorry, we're getting really biblical in this, but I guess this is the application. Like, we had the two taboos where we just mused and talked about. So what do we do about it? Well, okay, translations. Like, I was reading a translation the other day about, because there's this outrageous claim that if your daughter is raped, like, then, sorry, this is turning into an 18 plus very quickly, so maybe I might have to start marking those again. I did that for a few episodes when I just knew I wouldn't want my kids. But I mean, sexual assault, like, okay, let's not dodge around the issue. It's a bad thing and we need to get rid of it. So how do we get rid of it? Well, identifying what leads up to it. And that's the whole, like, how cybersecurity and basically general security, just like, mental health, physical health is all your health and well-being, and it's all important. I mean, I don't want to say equally because, it might be easier or harder to improve the health of one area, but same as like understanding and peace and like global community. Like, we need to understand translations and so yeah, so the claim is that, to make Christianity sound even worse is that if your daughter is raped, then the assaulter can buy her for like so much money. And then like this one site, it like was talking about it, was actually like, it's not that, it's that the man defiled her and then he needs to pay a price to the woman or the girl or woman's parents, the dad, because he ruined her chance at marriage. And then he has to man up or stand up and, yeah, man up, that's such a toxic thing to say anymore, but either way, he has to adult up, there you go, and take responsibility for what he did. And actually, that's not really being sexist at that point, because it is biological that, on average, the more testosterone-laden human, let's see, I'm trying to like be as like non-specific, but just, scientific about it, has more urges and less ability to stop it. I mean, that's not saying that like it's justifying anything, Definitely not. But it's harder to because, oh, just because of the way it works. I mean, blood leaves the head. You can't make as good decisions, and it's also there's this like physiological or biological or evolutionary need to procreate. Now, I'm not saying that the more, not saying that females don't feel it too. It just happens in different ways. I mean, so, and that's changing too, and especially like the levels of testosterone and estrogen. I feel like even that, like the body can even produce more or less of each one. I don't know. Like I'm way out of my depth with that, so don't quote me on any of that. But I'm just saying, like from what I know, like and what I've seen, it's almost always like the guy's fault, the boy's fault, the dude's fault, whatever. Like it's hardly ever the woman's fault, even though oh, it takes two to tango and everything. Sorry, we're getting way off subject there. Building a temple. And that's the other thing too. Like whoever, if it, and for all we know, this could be just a simulation. They're just sitting there watching, and be like, man, that A-Rye is pretty screwed up. But he makes a good point. You still got to watch that one. I get that a lot. Anyways, so we're just gonna go up here. Wait, this is gonna block out. Hmm. Sorry, now I'm rethinking this. Because, and maybe that should be a thing. All right, never mind. So if we use an existing mountain, just build off of that. I was just thinking, like, if I do what I was going to do, I was going to make this big platform, massive and everything. It would just completely black out that area. When there's other ways to do it that aren't as defacing of the land. It's a beautiful landscape. Why ruin it? All right, it doesn't have to be extremely massive. Not saying that the people running the simulation, deleted my last world because I was kind of joking about that during my first episode, like the pride cometh before the fall. I just thought it was funny because like I was putting so much work and effort into this giant temple thing, and it was so massive and so cool, and then all it took was me finally trying to dust around the PlayStation. Gone, just done, volatile. Uh, anyways, let's actually not worry about a temple for now. I mean, what I'm more concerned about is like getting some villagers, like making this a prosperous community, and even that, like tucking it into the mountain, like being total dwarves about it. Like, um, so if you've seen The Hobbit or anything, like there's, or read The Hobbit, I mean, actually, I guess we don't need sticks. Need these though. But what am I even doing? So if I'm going to, that's right, I need to figure out where the map stuff is. So we need to find a village, but in order to do that, well, I just have compasses somewhere. There we go. Don't have paper, but I do have this, which I need. I need 3 to make 1 paper. Or 3 papers. All right, now. Ooh, and you know what? Maybe? I don't know. What am I thinking here? I need wood. Sorry, I also need water. Wood. Cartography table. Actually, do I? Do I, though? So I don't think I actually really do. If you have a map, the paper. Let's just say I did, because I made the cartography table. Which took 2 papers of the 3. So now I have 1. I don't even know. There we go. It's a contained blade. Yeah, so paper and compass. Empty locator map. It'll work. Because watch. Empty map. Empty locator map. All right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put that back for the next one. And we need 4 more paper. So, trying to think. Yes, I am starting a sheep farm. No, it's not very humane. I apologize. Actually, let me go. Let's just go ahead and fix that. Fix it now because we might not get to it for a while. See, you can't overly act like paranoid and be like, would the creator like this or would the creator like that? But still, I don't know. Act in ways to where you don't need to worry about it. Um, that's kind of a depressing thing, but no, because I mean, when I say creator, and the reason I talk about AA is because um, the idea that like God had to enter into it really turned me off too. I was like, oh, I don't really want to be here anymore. Like that, like, you know, how bad do I want to stop drinking? You know, at that point, it's like, but and just because like I feel like if it was so perfect, it would already have fixed so many things. And I think a lot of people feel that way. It's not that it's like, oh my gosh, it's so like, you know, pure evil. And they do. They twist a lot of things and take things out of context. And I know they do that with politics too. They, including me too. I mean, it's like, I'm not innocent of this. Like I've ripped on, you know, political discussions my own fair share. But um, I'm reeling it back in because I'm realizing that like, well, one, a lot of the times the more extreme stuff is extreme because it sounds too good to be true because it is, or it sounds too awful to be true because it is. It's, you know, it's not completely real or even like the whole story. So I mean, like you know, the Olympics in Paris, like, you know, a lot of that controversy, like you know, they were making fun of the Last Supper. I saw that all over the social medias. Like, you know, how dare they put drag queens, you know, to make a mockery of this thing? Like, they had to take a rip on Jesus and like, and that oh, whoops, that sensitive, sorry, sheep. Um, that soft skin because you know you're so used to people making fun of your stuff and you're so used to it being put in your face. And who's putting it in your face? Fox News and all that, trying to, you know, sell you an election, angering you, like, you know, like pumping this stuff to your television, you know. And I'm not talking to anyone specifically, it's just like understanding that and the significance of that and why it's so wrong to do. Think before you speak. And it's big in the Bible too. And that's what drives me nuts is because a lot of these more like conservative types that seem to be getting so angry about this stuff, they're so quick to anger, don't take the time to double check and research and make sure, wait, is this true? They just accept it and get mad and move on. Like, and then hold that anger. Like, I've been talking a lot with like a friend group and I see that. And we're good for the most part. Like sometimes we get at each other's throats, but because I don't hold back. I post some very offensive memes. Not to this. I mean, kids might be looking at this stuff, so I still. But in that group chat, nah, nah. And I hope that whatever creator, if that's a thing, I mean, for all we know, it might not even be a thing. Like, we might just be a giant space explosion. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just how this stuff works. Like, I don't even understand what would be like above that. And I don't have to. Just know that I got to respect it. So what I was thinking is, I'll still put the respect to the creator at the very top, but at the same time, you know, respect to the creators of Minecraft slightly below that because they created this simulation, this world that I like to play in so much. I wouldn't want to live in this. I mean, this is still pretty blocky, but that's the point. It's like reality, but not. It's like playing with blocks. Ah, it's just so peaceful. Also, I brought some cherry blossoms over. There's a cherry blossom grove over there, so we're kind of like farming a lot of these different types of plants and trees. Kind of messing with the local area, like, I don't know. But the whole, there's a very strong Colorado ideology too. Leave it like you found it, or leave no trace. I think those are the two of the main ways to describe it. And like, and it's not just Colorado, but you hear it a lot in Colorado. Like any time like you go hiking trails or if you spend a lot of time outdoors, which California, it makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of times, like, you know, people wonder why so many Californians are coming out to Colorado. It's because we do have a lot of the same stuff, mountains and forests and trees and hiking. Although the coast has a lot of like more like dense forest too. That's why I loved always going. Like I used to go to Oregon a lot, and it's just so nice. But I don't know. Hey sheep, why do you gotta be right up in my business? Like I accidentally hit one of you earlier. Do you smell that I have wheat on me? Only one. Pop my head up and see if there's a second one. All right, let's put some light down there for you. Actually, a couple overs. Maybe we'll even put like a lid on this so you don't get rained on a lot. There you go. Like eventually, I might turn this into like grass floors too. Let's see. And we have plenty of ladders now. Actually, let's hold off on that map too for now. Yeah. All right. There we go. I guess that's part of why I need to get back to. It's like I don't even think that like this web server that I'm building is going to be any. It's definitely nothing special. It's like still a very beginner project out of a book. Like, but the thing is if it works to even spark enough discussion over what can be done to prove fair and honest elections without spending millions or millions of dollars. Oh wait, you're stuck. There we go. Okay. There you go. Come here. Are you still stuck? Okay, now come. Okay, sometimes they can get stuck on ladders. There you go. And a baby sheep. Also going to take your wool. Because eventually we're going to need a lot of beds once we get villagers here. Start a whole city, a village, a subterranean village. I like that. I mean, we do have to be careful of that. So I might build like some walls to make like a little fort here. But honestly, like we'll just keep a lot of the majestic beauty the same. Just build a massive, massive structure, like the entire mountain. We've got quite a bit of room to possibly build. But for now, I need to go get some fish. Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we could really just have honest and fair elections. Did I get 2 axes? I did. Okay, good. We could have honest and fair elections just with a spreadsheet. Seriously, like if you hook up like some kind of web server that just tallies, or an email thing, and that's the next thing I'm going to do. Sorry, so like SMTP or email, POP3, IMAP, like all the different acronyms for how to send and receive emails. And once you get that, how to use an incoming email to make adjustments. And that's why I wanted to do a bunch of like Node.js, because I feel like a lot of that stuff already exists as modules in the NPM, the Node package module, or not module. What is it? Manager. All right. So and fish give bones. Bones make bone meal, and bone meal helps the plants grow. What if you're reincarnated as a fish on a video game? I mean, I guess if it was like, it would be nice and quick, and then you just go back into something else. I don't know. I was watching a YouTube video the other day talking about reincarnation, and like, the idea, I think generally the idea is like, the better you were in your previous life, the better your next life is going to be. Or, or however that is. So. Oh. Come on. Do I have any bones yet? Nah. Not a single one. What if I see any cats? Ah! That was a bone. I mean, it's peaceful, so I can start to drown and be okay. Alright. This reminds me of the book Hatchet in Brian's Winter, I think it is. But Hatchet is like about a kid that crash lands in Alaska and has to go all survivalist. That's pretty good. Let's see. And of course, I I started doing Cub Scouts too. Learned a lot of that, like camping and stuff. Once I made it to Boy Scouts, and I was given the choice if I wanted to stay in or not, I was just kind of like, nah, I don't really want to. I mean, I almost wonder if like, because I don't know if my dad was like an Eagle Scout or not, but I know a few people that are and are extremely proud of that. And I can see how that might be offensive, but I mean, like I enjoyed it when I did it, but then it was time to move on. I was like, I want to go play with my friends and go like do sports. So I was doing that, and like I don't know. I had a lot going on actually. Just wanted to chill, slow down. But I appreciate doing a lot of stuff. How many bones we got? We got three. Let's just get a couple more fish and it'll be good. Ah, I mean, the fish is still good for food if we switch it out of peaceful or taming cats. Alright, but 3 bones should be enough. We need 4 papers. Uh, plus, I think a bone actually makes 3 bone meal, so we might be really good there. I also would like to get some bones. So we get a dog or wolf. Okay. So basically, yeah, this is my meditation half hour before I go do a load of dishes, or well, do dishes, and then, like I'm some kind of dishwasher. No, like do some dishes and work on that web server a little bit. So I've already got the Mongo database good. The next part is I need to be able to add and remove, or add and update, or move to archive maybe. That might be a better thing because since it's intended to be a voting server, it needs to be flawless as far as like corruption goes. So I'm thinking instead of ever, there shouldn't be a possibility to delete users, only the possibility to move them to an archive database. I think that's the safer way to go. Because you got to think, like, what are people going to say? Like, oh no, you just deleted these. Like, no, and I can show you. You can't delete in this. It's not allowed. Like, just not how it works. So, and since it's only accessible on the local machine, I love that. I already love Mongo for that. Like, I mean, now granted, people could log into my machine and do stuff laterally, except I disabled remote login. So there's that door shut. But then you got to keep. There's so many doors though, and that's why like I'm only building a concept and like I'm gonna give it out to the world and say, hey, somebody else want to take this and run with it, or for all I know, somebody's already built this. It would not surprise me. Like, I feel like every time I think like, oh wait, this would be a good idea to do something to help the world. Nah, it's already being done and being done better. Like, and I love that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I remember I had an economics professor over at Front Range that he would talk about like constant growth. Like, as long as the economy is growing, he's happy. He said he was a cheerleader for economic growth, and like I think it might have been a little too far because also I think we're like trying to catch up to like a runaway economy. Like we've got these high standards and this and that, and like we're just kind of grinding to a halt in other areas. I mean, and not completely too. Like it's definitely not like the Dust Bowl, or but at the same time, like I mean, we could be doing a lot better, and a lot of it is greed. It's just not understanding that. Um, well, real and perceived, I guess. So I don't know. It's also complicated. Oh, actually, you know what? Elon is interviewing Trump tonight. I really don't want to watch it, but I do kind of want to watch it for the fact checking. So, yeah, because I mean, I like Elon for the good things he's done. I don't like him for the bad things he's done. I mean, but he has done a lot, even though he's Zuckerberged a lot of people. Hmm. You know, Zuckerberg, the whole meaning of it comes from Zuckerberging the people in the social. Like, I mean, you know, people that got away with like basically, or like Breaking Bad, how Walter. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but like, you know, he felt like it was stolen from him, but then that's not how they saw it. And then you hear more about the story, and then technically it wasn't. Walter walked away, broke up with the. I don't want to spoil too much if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but like there was more to the story. So maybe there's more to the story about the Zuckerberg. And so I apologize to Mark. I mean, if you ever hear this, like, I feel like that's the awkward thing. Like, I really don't mean any disrespect to like any of these people. Like, even Trump. Like, I mean, disrespect for how he's trying to lie and stuff, but at the same time, giving him a chance to be like, you know what, this is right and this makes sense. And that's why like I want to see like actual interviews of him, not what's filtered through the lens of heavy bias. I want to see what he says because as much as I hate to admit it, like what was it? I was really mad about his stance on the death penalty for drug offenses. Like that just really burns me up because I know a lot of people in trouble for drug offenses, and it's like imagining any of them executed, like for on like, yeah, they broke the law, they messed up, okay, but like kill them over it. I mean, especially when like there's other things. Oof, well, never mind. But oh wait, I think you do have to do it, but I mean. We're gonna have to chop down the cherry trees. All right. Anyways, no. There are other things that I think are more worth a death penalty, if any. Like, I don't think we should be doing the death penalty, but at the same time, we need to stop like the harsher crimes like murder and assault on children and sexual assault and all those. Those need to go away. So I mean, and I think almost everybody can agree that yeah, except for the ones that are doing it or thinking about doing it, they're going to be a little opposed to it. But even then, like, uh, I don't know, being pigeonholed into a thing. I'm not saying anything of it is okay, but it's just like until we understand how to thoroughly address the problem and understand it logically, it's really hard to fix a problem because you're fixing a fantasy. You're fixing, oh, what if this person's all like once a thief, always a thief? Like, no, people change all the time. A lot of times once you're in your 30s, that's why, Jesus, you don't even hear about him until after he's 33. Like, what about his younger years? Did he screw around a lot? Like, probably, if he was human. Anyways, and that's a little tidbit from Dogma, but we're over the mark. I'll see you in the next one. Ta ta.